Imagine a world where your entire identity could be tucked away in a digital pocket. A single, secure system that unlocks everything from jobs to government services. But is this innovation a game changer for security and efficiency? Or a potential gateway to overreach? That's the big question swirling around UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer's upcoming announcement of a mandatory nationwide digital ID scheme set to be unveiled in a speech this Friday. Let's dive into the details, breaking it down step by step so everyone can follow along, even if you're new to these tech-driven policy ideas. Starmer, according to insiders in his administration, sees this initiative as a powerful tool to combat unauthorized employment and bring the government's operations into the 21st century. Picture it like this. Instead of relying on outdated paper trails, a digital ID could streamline how we verify who we are and what we're entitled to do in the UK. The nuts and bolts of how this would work, though, are still up in the air. The government plans a public consultation to hash out the specifics, including thoughtful solutions for people who might not have access to a smartphone or even a passport. It's all about making sure no one gets left behind in this digital shift. To put this in context, remember the last time Labour tried something similar back in the day? Their push for ID cards was shot down by a conservative Liberal Democrat alliance. But Starmer believes times have changed. In a recent chat, he pointed out that we're all carrying more digital identifiers now than we were 2 decades ago. Think of your online banking logins or social media profiles. Psychologically, he argues this makes the idea feel less intrusive and more like a natural evolution. And this is the part most people miss. How our everyday tech habits have already paved the way for broader acceptance. Whispers from reports suggest the scheme could tie into verifying people's eligibility to reside and work in the UK, cross-checking individual details against a centralized database. Right now, these verifications often hinge on physical paperwork, though some online pathways have been available for certain folks since 2022. Interestingly, this digital ID concept wasn't part of Labour's election platform last year, and the government had even turned down a similar suggestion from ex-Prime Minister Tony Blair. Yet in the last few weeks, ministers have been buzzing with excitement about it, fueled by mounting demands to address unlawful migration. Cabinet Office Minister Pat McFadden has highlighted another angle, boosting access to public services. He recently toured Estonia, a country that's mastered digital identity systems. There, citizens use their digital IDs to handle everything from accessing medical records and casting votes to managing bank accounts. It's like having a universal key that simplifies life without the hassle of multiple logins or visits. Imagine logging into your doctor's portal or voting from home with just a few clicks. That's the kind of modernization McFadden envisions for the UK. But here's where it gets controversial. Not everyone's on board, and the debates are heating up. Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch calls a forced ID system a very serious step that demands a full national conversation. She dismisses the announcement as a desperate gimmick aimed at diverting attention from internal party dramas like the leadership tussles involving Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham ahead of Labour's upcoming conference. Badenoch has also argued that digital IDs won't truly fix the issue of illegal work in the UK. Reform UK goes further, labeling it a cynical ploy to trick voters into thinking something's being done about immigration woes. They scoff at the idea that rule breakers will suddenly play by the rules, or that IDs will dent illegal employment, warning it could just erode the freedoms of everyday law-abiding citizens. The Liberal Democrats, who were key players in derailing the old ID card plan, flat out oppose a required system. Their tech spokesperson, Victoria Collins, stresses that no one should face criminal penalties for lacking or opting out of a digital ID. Even former Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn gearing up to launch a new left-leaning party soon, voices strong opposition, calling it an attack on our fundamental freedoms. To understand the current landscape, employers are already obligated to confirm job candidates' UK work rights. Since 2022, they've had government-approved digital tools to verify passports for British and Irish nationals. There's also a Home Office online service for checking the status of some non-British or Irish residents whose details are stored digitally. Plus, the government is gradually replacing physical residency permits with online-only e-visas. Officials are exploring how a unified digital ID could create a more reliable way to confirm identities, cut down on forged documents, and sharpen enforcement efforts. That said, critics like the Open Rights Group, a group advocating for digital freedoms, point to past hiccups with e-visas. Think data glitches and system breakdowns. They warn that these proposals could usher in a pre-crime society where we're perpetually proving our identities just to go about daily life. It's a stark reminder that with great convenience comes the risk of constant surveillance. What do you think about all this? Is a digital ID the smart way to tackle modern challenges like illegal work and migration, or does it cross into privacy invasion territory? Could it empower citizens, as seen in Estonia, or stifle freedoms, as opponents fear? Share your opinions, questions, or even counter-arguments in the comments. We'd love to hear diverse perspectives. In the same Friday address, Starmer is also set to tackle the simmering tensions over immigration that sparked widespread demonstrations outside asylum accommodations this summer. Speaking to global leaders, including those from Australia and Canada, he'll present a stark choice between a politics of predatory grievance that exploits workers' struggles and the politics of patriotic renewal. He'll caution against the dangers of toxic online discourse, noting how its most harmful ideas were vividly displayed in recent London protests, organized by far-right figure Tommy Robinson, where tens of thousands marched with flags in hand. At the same time, Starmer will stand by his administration's immigration curbs, contending that for far too long, it's been all too simple for individuals to enter, vanish into the informal economy, and stay unlawfully. He insists it's not truly progressive to depend on labor that mistreats foreign workers and drives down fair pay. The simple fact is that every nation needs to have control over its borders, he'll declare. In a piece for The Telegraph leading up to the speech, Starmer acknowledges that left-wing parties, including his own, have long avoided confronting public worries about illegal immigration. Without naming names, he rejects Reform UK's toxic approach, arguing their catchy phrases won't solve anything. There is no silver bullet, he writes, but we must enforce every possible measure to deter illegal migrants from entering British waters. It's a call to action that's sure to fuel more debate. What side are you on?